Hey everybody, it's Brad with the Big Family Homestead, and today we are out in the community. We've got a local mom and pop place that I just love. They're JLAR Valley, Jeff and Lita. We're gonna be talking organic stuff, non-organic, organic, non-GMO, but also they have an incredible pumpkin patch that's made of one seed, and you're not gonna believe this. So let's get cracking. Okay people, I am here with Jeff, as you know, because I mentioned it in the intro. And Jeff and Lita run this awesome, I wouldn't call it just a health food store. I wouldn't call it just, fresh food. How would you describe the Jeff and Lita experience here at JLAR Valley?
I would say it's more of a mom and pop general store. We started out with some intentions like to be a bulk food store with an emphasis on health. And we found that at first our name wasn't out there, so we had to do a whole bunch of different things. And as we grew, there were so many cool things we wanted to do. We just said, let's try this and let's try this, and there is a need for this, there's a need for that, and I enjoy this. So some people have hobbies. We do things as hobbies in order to make a living.
And I got to tell you what, being that we are in, the area is literally called the North Woods. We're on the south side of the North Woods. And to have a place like this is a huge blessing. And I'm going to go ahead, he doesn't know that I'm going to say this, but this is the kind of place that even after hours, if you knock on the door, you're probably going to get somebody that'll come and let you in and get what you need. And that is unbelievable. But today, Jeff, I want to talk about the differences in the food that we eat, because there's still, even after all this time, there's discrepancies in what is organic, what is not, GMO, non-GMO, and you do this. So tell me what you would view as this is truly organic and this is truly not in terms of the food we consume.
Well, like almost any topic, definitions are so important. I might call something organic as in it's a plant, it's a living organism. Someone else might say it's organic because it's got a certification. So when people talk organic or non-organic or GMO, you got to define the words first. Understand so two people are talking exactly the same word. So as these discussions come about between what's legal or certifiable and what's actually healthy, you're going to have differences of opinions. So certification is important in some aspects to a lot of people, especially if you don't have the ability to know your farmer. You have to trust somebody. So you're trusting the government to regulate the people that are getting certified, and you're trusting the people and the people that watch the people that do this, or inspectors, you're trusting them. So that certification has some trust, but it's not necessarily the everything to everybody. Mm-hmm. So in our store, a lot of what we do, we sell local. I know the person. I've been to their place. I watch how they raise their animals. I watch how they grow their bees. I watch how they do their gardens. And I've developed a trust through a conversation, because in a conversation, you can talk to somebody and they can give you all the right bullet points if you're at a farmer's market. But if you're at their place and you're there for a couple hours, things happen. Oh yeah, we do this, we do that. And then you can start to form an opinion. And for like our store, when people come in, I can say, well, this beef is grass-fed, but she finishes off with grain. And now I know it's non-GMO grain. Or I can say this farmer doesn't use any grain. It's pure grass-fed, and it's a different breed. So I know the farmer. I can tell that to my customers. And my customers then, some have a level of things will say, well, I like this, and I'm okay with that. And others will say, no, absolutely not. This is what I want. So it's a lot about the middleman, getting the information and passing it on, which is, to me is a passion for me. I love to learn about stuff like that. And I understand, just like we sell beers. We sell beers from around the world. I have beers that some
And we love the fact that you do that, by the way.
And some beers people really, really love. Other beer, that same beer, people just hate it. So it's like anything else. You know, everybody has their own likes and dislikes, but also what they tolerate and will not tolerate as far as, you know, what kind of chemicals, what kind of fertilizer. And then, I mean, when you start taking a look at horse manure, right? Mm-hmm. Did the horse eat non-GMO grain, or was it a pasture raised?
So is that manure non-GMO or organic or?
And you can really get down into the details where some people are very, very particular, and other people understand that the earth is pretty forgiving. I mean, it has been around for a long time, and it cleans the water. That same drop of water that we have here has been around for 10,000 years, just in different forms. You know, so our earth has the ability to take care of itself as long as we don't get really stupid.
So now, in terms of the labeling, if I can make this clear for me, even though you could have a farmer who has always never used any weird chemicals or anything like that, if he doesn't have that certification, he can't sell it as organic.
Well, actually, he can. He just can't sell it as certified organic.
Aha. So he can tell the local folks, hey, this is how I've always done it. This is the way our family does it. And you know, it's organic. So the government cannot come back and say, no, you cannot say that because it doesn't have that word certified.
As far as I know, there is no rule like that. Now, we're going to go back to definitions. Organic just means living. I mean, it's a living thing, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people will start to use natural. Well, unfortunately, when you see ingredients, and we have to be very meticulous of the stuff we sell, natural is in there. Well, natural comes under an umbrella of so many different things that some people might say, well, that's not natural to me.
Well, I can think of, well, not to get too terribly gross, but poop is natural.
Well, it is.
I don't want to buy it in my food, though.
Yep, but you certainly want to get the nutrients into the plant, which changes it to something better.
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, like I said, words mean a lot. Definitions are important. And then understanding that a lot of times people talk two different paths. You know? When you talk about organic and you have a farm that's hundreds of acres, okay, what else are they using that's under the organic label of being okay, OMRI, but I wouldn't use it in my farm?
So what would your standard be for your family?
Well, if we look at our garden, I start with the soil because we have a lot of clay. So I've gone to raised beds. I have a company that I work with out of Wausau. It's called HSU. They have a garden mix that it's not organic, but it's probably as safe as you're going to get on any type of mass-produced compost garden mix. Okay. I mean, there's just no way you're going to be completely organic unless you have hundreds of square acres and no one goes in there except you. You don't drive a vehicle in there because you might get an exhaust from your combustion engine. You might someone might throw something out there, or paper wrap. I mean, how particular you're going to get is up to you. But I'm comfortable with this stuff. It's a very good mix. It's double composted. It's been baked, so there's no seeds in there. Okay, and then they've added some like leaf compost, which is really good. They've added also what they call sustain. I use this as my go-to fertilizer when I can't get horse manure or cow manure from a place. I make a tea out of the sustain. It's basically a organic fertilizer, and it's been processed, so it's in little flakes, and I make a tea out of it.
Cool. So the garden, I think we got to get out there and see this garden because I believe you have an enormous pumpkin thing going on, and I want to know about it because who doesn't like big pumpkins? I like pumpkins, and I cannot lie, right?
Well, the cool thing about this is our customers are our friends, okay? So we get jams, hey, I baked this out of your almond flour. Try these brownies.
Oh, cool.
Okay, we get a lot of this stuff. It's more of and this is what's really cool too, is someone may give me something, and even though I don't give that exact person something back within a short period of time,
Get something back.
we always give it to somebody else.
Oh, cool.
So it's not a one-to-one on anything, really. It's more of, this guy has an abundance of this, or has something cool he wants to share with me, and I have something abundant or cool, I can share with someone. And it doesn't have to be the same one, but it kind of just circulates
Neat.
so that everybody is happy. But anyway, this customer came in one day and was telling me about his pumpkins. And he was telling me about these huge pumpkins. And he gave me a DVD, he gave me a website, and over a period of...
Hold on one second. He gave you a DVD about his pumpkins?
About the yes, actually, it's him taking pumpkins to an event.
Anybody that's got a professionally made DVD about his pumpkins is serious about pumpkins.
Yeah, he's very serious about it. And it's a passion. He doesn't make any money on it. So this is his hobby.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So, and he gives seeds to kids to grow as part of his passion, right? So this isn't an abnormality for him, right?
Right.
And so he was in here one day and he says, I got a seed for you. And he says, you can plant this next year. Well,
No, a seed.
A seed, yes.
At one, singular, mono, solo.
And so about 3-4 months later, and he had come back in and we had talked about it. So he was keeping me excited, right?
Right.
And I put the seed away in a dark, cool spot. But right a little bit before spring, when it was time to plant, he comes in with 2 more seeds. And he said, I didn't have a real good germination rate on that batch. So I'm going to give you 2 more in hopes that one of the 3 or a couple of the 3 will germinate. And so it came around time for me to make my plants, because we sell garden plants, right? Mm-hmm. And I put a couple in there, and lo and behold, the second 2 he gave me worked.
Good thing that first one, yeah.
Yeah, the first one just kind of sat there. So I have it outside with the rest of my plants that I sell in the garden plants. And a friend of ours was buying plants, and she goes, oh, what's this? I said, that's a giant pumpkin seed. She says, is it for sale? And I said, no, but you can have one.
Hold on now, because I want to talk about this, because this is part of the cool thing that you're doing.
Right.
But I want to go outside and show them this pumpkin plant, because it's significant. This pumpkin plant right here came from 1 seed. 1 seed only. Can you believe that? This massive plant is pretty unbelievable. I mean, I'm talking, this has got to be 30 foot across. It's got to be at least 2.5 feet high at its highest point there. And you've got lots of signs in here, Jeff. What in the world are these signs for?
Well, we had so much fun with this, and I don't have any real use for 1,000, 1,500 pound pumpkin. So he said, well, why don't we just have a bunch of little ones? And if we get a couple of 100 pounders, we're all gonna have fun. So we had people that'll pick a pumpkin, and they get the pumpkin for $7.50. And at the end of the year, the biggest pumpkin gets half the pot, or half of that $7.50 of everybody, but everybody gets to take one home, so everybody wins.
So it's kind of like pumpkin roulette.
There you go, yep.
Or bingo, pumpkin style.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's take a look at some of these guys, because they're already getting pretty enormous.
Well, this is the big guy.
Woo-wee!
And I don't know for sure, but I would say that's probably at least a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah, but there are pumpkins everywhere.
Yeah, so like this one over here, my sister has got one, and then another customer has got one over there. Over there's one, and we've pulled some of the little ones off because we want to put more energy into the ones that are claimed. And then like the one we got for you, yours has actually gotten about twice the size from the last time you were visiting.
Wow, let's check ours out.
All right.
Here is our stake, and there is one pumpkin on our I guess what is it? Is it considered a vine, or is it considered a tendril? How's that work?
I think it's a vine. A tendril is more of the thing that goes into the ground, I'm thinking. Like this little guy here is
little squigglies.
Yeah.
Ah, right in there, yeah.
And if you notice the white dust,
yeah,
that's diatomaceous earth. That's one of the few things that we use for bug control. But diatomaceous earth, this is actually food grade. You can eat this. We've decided to go to raised beds. This area right here is going to be another raised bed. We just didn't get to building it this year. This one here has blueberries. This one here is for our grapes. And we put a tomato in it this year because the grapes were small and I didn't want to waste the space. Those 3x3s was our attempt at doing wood. I got the wood for free, so it was nice to be able to do that. We had potatoes in there last year. This year we'll have tomatoes. Next year we'll put something else. But we did grow lettuce. You can see at the bottom of that second one, we had celery. This is the first year we did celery, and it was fantastic. If you ever had fresh garden celery, it's amazing.
Now this is looking great here. What do we got going on, Jeff?
Well, right here was 2 rows of lettuce that we've since replanted. This will start to be our 3rd generation of lettuce. This right here is some older collard greens, which I'll harvest those, and we'll have collard greens with olive oil and garlic and stuff, and then we'll replant some more lettuce. These are beets and carrots and kale.
So your customers can come on by and say, well, what do you got in the garden? And you can come out and pick it right then.
We do that all the time. It's not like we're constantly having customers come out here, but our customers know that when they want some beets or some carrots or something like that, they can get them right out of the garden.
It ain't getting any fresher.
Nope, and you rinse it off if you want, or shake it off and you can eat it, because there's nothing bad here.
Heck yeah, this is great.
Well, here's our sugar baby watermelons. This is the first year that we really got a great harvest. You can look at these, and these are about ready to eat. And how you do that is you look at the tendrils and see this one's starting to dry off, and you thump it and you poke it like that. And how did I learn that? I watched a YouTube video. A nice young couple did a really good explanation of how to tell them if they're ripe and ready to pick or not. So these are our sugar babies for this year.
Nicely done. Hi guys.
My wife is going to go and get a butterfly net. What do we use that for? You saw the white moss. Well, those are things that kind of eat our vegetables. And like I was telling Brad, when you manually pull weeds and you manually pick the bugs, you don't need chemicals.
Hey, works for me.
So this is an old indoor greenhouse that we use, and basically what we use it for is to extend the season. Here in Wisconsin, it's going to get cold soon, and we can get another month or sometimes 45 days of produce out of it, but if we take care of it in here.
Fresh on the doorstep of winter. I love it. All right, Jeff and Lita here at JLAR Valley. I love this place. It's, mom and pop place, encouraging people to eat the right kinds of food, local, fresh, and you got the whole picture, man. You got the whole picture.
It's a lifestyle. It's not about the paycheck. It's about interacting with folks like you and our customers and enjoying things, looking for new things. It definitely is a lifestyle versus a career and for financial gain.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are in central Wisconsin at all, there's going to be a link down below, or an address rather down below, as to where you can come and check them out, and I would encourage you to do so. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm Brad with the Big Family Homestead. You guys have an amazing day.